If you've ever felt that hot snap of envy while you scroll, like something grabs your chest and squeezes, this is for you. The smile on the screen looks effortless. The caption is breezy. Their world is bright and easy, and yours feels like a hallway with the lights flickering. Maybe it's a promotion, a body, a house. Maybe it's a piece you've been begging for. You tell yourself to be mature, to be happy for them. But there's that sting, and then the guilt for even feeling it. You're not a monster. You're not broken. According to Jung, envy can be a coded message from the deepest part of you, a spark thrown from a fire you forgot you had. He called it the golden shadow, the bright, life-giving capacities we disown because somewhere along the way we were told they were too much, too dangerous, too selfish. We push them down. We become good. Then we meet someone who wears our disowned light like a crown, and we feel it, sharp, electric, unavoidable. So let's reframe what envy really is. Imagine your psyche as a house. There are rooms you live in every day, the polite kitchen, the tidy living room. That's your persona, the version of you that learned how to behave, perform, belong. But in the basement, there's a locked door. That's the shadow. Everything you learned not to be. Most people think the shadow is only dark, anger, greed, lust. Jung said that's half the story. The other half is made of gold. It's the talent you parked, the voice you muted, the ease with which you play, speak, lead, flirt, dance, build. Envy is the draft you feel from that locked door, the whisper of your own light asking to be let out. Let's make this real. You see a friend post their book deal. You swallow hard, type, "so proud of you," and close the app. On the surface, you're jealous of attention. Underneath, you're seeing your disowned writer, the one who used to fill notebooks, who was told writing isn't practical, who stopped. That ache isn't just spite. It's grief for a path you're still allowed to walk. Another scene. A stranger shares a body they carved with discipline. You flinch. It looks vain to you. But wait, what if that sting is your unlived commitment, the part of you that longs to feel powerful in your own skin, not to impress anyone, but to meet yourself in the mirror with a calm yes. Or this. Someone announces a slow life. Mornings with tea, afternoons with light, nothing urgent. You feel rage. How dare they be that free? That green burn might be your soul begging for margin, space, less noise. The envy isn't hating them. It's calling you, away from the frenzy you pretend you love, toward a rhythm that could hold you. Here's the pattern Jung offers. Envy points precisely. It points to what you admire and disown. It points to where you've outsourced your own authority. It points to a vow you made long ago. I won't be that person. I won't risk that love. I won't raise my voice. I won't be seen. And here's the practical turn. The next time the sting hits, don't rush past it. Pause the scroll. Name the feeling without shame. Envy is here. Then ask a different question. What is the gift I'm seeing that belongs to me? Not the exact life, not their path. The quality, the inner gold. Maybe it's courage, maybe it's steadiness, maybe it's play. Then take one tiny, laughably small step toward it within 24 hours. Not a grand reinvention. A phone note, a single paragraph, a 10-minute walk, an email, a quiet boundary. The psyche responds to sincerity, not theatrics, because envy grows in the gap between who you pretend to be and who you actually are. Persona says, be nice, be safe, stay in the middle. Shadow says, I am more than this. When persona and shadow never speak, envy gets loud. But when they meet, when you gently sit them at the same table, envy softens. It becomes guidance. Let's look at where the golden shadow gets buried. Maybe you were the loud kid who loved to perform. Someone rolled their eyes. You're so attention-seeking. You learned to dim. Now you can't bear to watch people take the stage. Or you were the brilliant one who solved problems in minutes. Adults worried you'd be arrogant. Don't get a big head. You learned to act average. Now you resent anyone who owns their competence. Or you were the sensual one who loved beauty, touch, color. Someone called you inappropriate. You froze. Now you despise people who move through the world with embodied ease. Each wound created an inner law. Do not be that. And each law created a mirror that forces you to watch that exact quality in others. Jung would call this a complex, a charged knot of emotion, memory, and meaning. Complexes aren't bad, they're maps. When envy flares, a complex is announcing itself. There's energy here. That energy can be a curse when you don't recognize it. But once seen, it becomes fuel. To work with it, try this simple inner practice. Close your eyes for a moment. Picture the person you envy, not their face but the quality that burns. See it as a color, a texture. Let it become a figure standing before you, not them, but the archetype of that quality. The artist, the warrior, the lover, the sage, the builder, the healer, the queen. Ask without sarcasm, "Why do you visit me?" The figure doesn't answer in sentences. It answers in images, in scenes, in a felt sense. Maybe you see a door you've never opened. Maybe a pen placed in your hand. Maybe a field with a single path through it. This is active imagination, Jung's term for meeting the living images of your psyche with respect. You're not making them up. You're letting them speak. Then ask the second question. What is one small act of loyalty to this quality I can do today? Not on Monday. Not after you fix your life. Today. The figure might shrug toward a book you've been avoiding, a text you're afraid to send, a pair of shoes by the door. If the answer is grandiose, quit everything, smile. Grandiosity is often a disguise envy wears when it's scared. Shrink the act until it's doable. 10 minutes, one call, one page, a single truth said kindly. There's a relational layer too. Envy can warp our connections. We might subtly belittle the person we envy, pick holes, mock their style, or we might pedestal them, orbit their light and erase ourselves. Both are flips of the same coin. Projection. We're seeing our own unlived life on their screen and reacting to our reflection. Jung would invite us to take back the projection, not to hate them less or adore them more, but to step out of the trance. I see my own possibility in you. Thank you for the mirror. You don't have to say it out loud. Say it in your chest, and then go do something with it. Be careful with romantic projections. If you always fall for people who feel like magic and then feel small around them, you might be meeting your anima or animus, the inner image of the beloved. It's not a real person. It's a carrier of your own unlived vitality. That doesn't mean love is fake. It means love is a profound invitation. If you feel possessive, if their whims make you anxious, the work might not be to tether them, but to retrieve your own golden shadow and stand beside them as an equal. Social media turns projection into a factory. We don't see whole lives. We see chosen moments charged with archetypal symbols: the doorway, the ring, the sunrise, the stage, the passport. If you're tender, every scroll is a test. This isn't a moral failure, it's design. So design back. Curate your feed. Follow people who demonstrate process, not just outcomes. Collect elders and craftspeople who show their hands dirty. Let your screen become an apprenticeship instead of a gallery of pain. And when you feel the sting, say out loud, "Thank you for showing me what I want." Then put the phone down and give your body 5 minutes of movement. Envy lives in the muscles too. Shake it through. If you're wondering, but what if my envy is petty? That's a persona judgment. There are no petty longings. There are only misdirected ones. If you envy luxury, maybe the gold is not the thing but the feeling you believe it buys. Ease, safety, choice. How else could you create ease without debt? If you envy charisma, maybe the gold is not applause but the courage to be seen by the handful of people who actually love you. Ask the longing what it's made of. Then feed the ingredients. Midway check-in, because this is where it gets practical. What does your envy tell you about the hidden quality you're ready to reclaim? Skill, space, or spark? Share one word in the comments. Sometimes naming it aloud unlocks it. And if this kind of Jung, in clear human language, helps you breathe easier, tap subscribe and leave a like so I know to make more like this. Let's talk rhythm. The psyche changes at the pace of rituals, not resolutions. Try this for the next 7 days. Each evening write down one moment of envy. Just one. Write who, write what. Write the first clean word for the gold you saw. Voice. Freedom. Craft. Quiet. Strength. Then write one micro-act you'll do tomorrow to honor it. Keep the acts so small they feel almost silly. A single sentence for the book. 10 push-ups. 2 minutes looking at the sky. 1 gentle no. Then, the next day, do that one thing early. The act itself is less important than the message it sends down into the basement. I haven't forgotten you. Add body to it. Envy is heat. If you try to think your way through heat, you'll roast. Move. Walk fast for 5 minutes. Shake your arms. Exhale with sound. Let the feeling be a weather system, not a verdict. Then return to your one small act. If you miss a day, good. You just met another piece of your humanity. Start again without drama. Drama is the persona trying to stay important. Steadiness is the shadow dimming down into the room. Watch for 2 traps. One is denial. I don't get jealous. People who never feel envy often live inside tight armor. They also tend to explode one day in a mess of bitterness. The other is indulgence, letting envy justify cruelty. When envy tempts you to gossip, to slice someone's life into pieces to feel superior, remember, you're carving up your own gold. You're saying to your deepest self, you don't deserve to exist. Turn the knife into a tool. Carve the shape of your next step. And there's grief here. Sometimes envy shows you a life you can't have. The window has passed. The body won't go back. The door has closed. Be honest. Cry. Feel the real sadness. Then ask, what is the living essence of what I wanted? If you longed for children and that door closed, maybe the essence is to nurture. And there are 1,000 small lives waiting for your care. If you longed for a stage and that dream changed, maybe the essence is testimony. Your voice can still make a room braver, starting with your own. Jung warned against inflation, swinging from envy to grandiosity. Don't replace one lie with another. I am nothing becomes I am everything. You are not the center of the universe. You are a center of consciousness in a universe that loves making centers. Your gold is yours to polish, not to weaponize. When you show it, do it like a candle, not a floodlight. Bright enough to see, gentle enough to welcome. If you want a deeper image, imagine the inner workshop. On one bench sits a pile of dull metal, resentments, comparisons, those tight little thoughts. On the other, a small furnace. Each time envy rises, you pick up a piece of dull metal and feed it to the fire by doing one faithful act. Practice, rest, send, build, ask, decline, confess. Over time, the color changes. The metal softens. You pour it into a mold shaped like your values. It cools into something you can use. That's alchemy. That's psychology at its best, turning heat into form. Be kind to the part that feels left behind. Envy is often the voice of a younger self, the child who wanted to be chosen, the teenager who wanted to be seen, the young adult who wanted permission. Don't bully them. Sit with them. Put a hand on your own chest. Say, I see you. I'm going to choose us now. Then do one act that proves it. Small, steady proof beats speeches every time. Finally, let's widen the frame. We're not the first humans to feel this. Every myth is full of envy, gods and mortals who can't bear each other's light. The medicine in those stories is always the same. The hero goes down, into the cave, into the sea, into the forest. They meet what they abandoned. They make friends with a creature they feared. They retrieve something golden. Then they come back, not with stolen treasure, but with earned light. That's individuation, the lifelong work Jung spoke of. Not perfection, not a brand. A living conversation with your own depths, so your surface can be true. So the next time envy bites, don't shame it. Don't worship it. Turn toward it. Ask it what it's pointing to. Let it show you the gift hidden under your old vows. Then move your feet gently in that direction. Over weeks you'll notice something. The sting lessens. The gratitude grows. You'll be happy for them for real, because you're not starving. You'll understand in your bones that what you admire is also what you are, not theirs. Yours, not later. Now, in small faithful pieces. You don't need to be anyone else's echo. The gold you keep seeing isn't out there to torment you. It's inside, waiting for light. Open the door. Let a little sun in. And see what your life does when you stop pretending you were meant to be dim.